Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel where it is my opinion, or no opinion at all. Scottalicious McFabulous here, and I hope that you are feeling Percy. And today, our luxury bags, really made in China. This is probably going to shock some of you. So as of this very moment, or maybe even a couple days ago at this point, this whole luxury can of worms has been reopened, and it has got a massive grip over a lot of people. And there is a ton, and I mean an absolute metric ton of misinformation being thrown about, lies being spread, and the big elephant in the room being, are these luxury bags we all love, or at least in my audience, do these actually come from Chinese workers rather than Italian artisans? Let us just dive right into whether or not luxury handbags are, in fact, made in China.
None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else!
Now y'all know exactly what time it is. It is time to get Percy. But today, we will be getting Percy with high-end replicas, as well as the topic, the really viral topic actually, which is kind of surprising to me, of whether or not luxury brands produce their bags in China. As I think people are getting really confused about what's going on right now. And I really wanted to make this video personally for my audience, so if this does leave outside of my audience, I apologize. This video is just not for you. This is for people that do like luxury and want to be actually informed about what's going on, not the whole rage bait, the whole fake, oh my god, all our shit is made in China. No, that's not what's going on. Though they aren't far off from the truth. The truth is being completely twisted and manipulated, and it's being wrung through the ringer, and I think it's time that I set it straight to my audience. Now, we are already doing my own personal little expose on luxury, you know, with materials, craftsmanship, and all of that stuff. That is completely different than what's going on right now, but if you have not watched those videos, I highly implore you to do so, because you will learn a lot about what really goes into these bags that cost hundreds, thousands of dollars. Take that from somebody that has wasted a lot of money on things that I technically wouldn't want due to lie tactics from companies. But maybe you've seen this viral TikTok or a series of TikToks or whatever else. I'm going to look at a couple of them. I don't want to go too far into TikTok. I'm not a TikToker person, whatever, but I do find this conversation to be very interesting. Let us watch it together, and I want to give you my thoughts and, you know, all of that good stuff, because this is an interesting TikTok.
At Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. And the second is Weinheimera from Germany. And the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. Its cost will be 600 USD. The package, now this is not that expensive, it's 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material, same leather, same hardware, same edge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have the logo, so we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, our human resource is much cheaper. This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD, but even better quality and craftsmanship.
Okay, so that was a lot to unpack. That was a lot to unpack. And first off, a Birkin bag being $1,400 to create seems kind of off the wall to me, especially if it's not exotic. I cannot see a plain ass Togo bag, Birkin, Kelly, whatever, costing I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to really correct me, but I'm pretty sure like a $38,000 Birkin bag. I don't even.
A few moments later.
Okay, you guys, so the fact that this man is even saying a Birkin in Togo leather costs 38,000 USD is a complete bold-faced lie. If you just do some quick Googling, and I mean like quick, within seconds, you're gonna figure it out that in 2023, so 2 years ago, even in 2 years, this isn't jumping up, $20,000 in price. We are talking the Birkin 25 in Togo in the USA was $10,400 in 2023.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
The jokes write themselves? Like, what? That is some insane misinformation. The moment he said 38,000 USD and it cost $1,400 to create a bag, I was like, that is the biggest bullshit lie I think I've ever seen come across my feed, my Discord, my whatever. I was like, what? Now, I can only see a Birkin being that much money in store if it's a super limited edition, whatever. You know, I am not one of those people that care very much about high-end luxury, so this isn't necessarily something in my ballpark, but I always expected, like, you know, I always kind of thought that the exotics would be that much money. I've only ever seen exotics priced that high for any brand. And for people to believe, just flat out believe this, just because he made some bootleg Birkin beside him is wild. That is wild. And if that, what? I don't know about y'all, but I find that to be very interesting. I don't know about y'all. And what I'm also finding funny is, how are you able to sell that bag for 1,000 USD? Make that make sense. If everybody used their critical thinking skills for about 3 seconds flat, they would know the math ain't mathing. Even if they are cutting labor costs, the math isn't making sense. Something is foul. Something is foul, and it's coming from this TikTok. In the end, it ended up just being a giant ad for his warehouse that makes replica Birkins. Replicas. That's it, that's all. And we're going so far to see there is some other girl. I'm going to have to quickly look her up, and we'll have to watch her TikTok as well, because there is some bold-faced lying there as well, and people are eating it up. Oh my god, you guys. Too much misinformation. Too much misinformation. So the other TikToker is Luna sourcing China. I don't care. And she's going massively viral as well. You literally type in Luna on TikTok and it's the first thing that pops up. Wow, okay. So let's look at what she has to say.
Who are the suppliers behind Lululemon? Some of their yoga wears are actually from Xianglong Clothing and Huang Qisheng Clothing. And guess what? Both factories located in Yiwu here. And these two factories also supply clothing for Fila and Under Armour. I guess most of you know the price of Lululemon or other big brands. They sell you a legging pants for $100. And guess what? Here in these two factories, you can get them for around $5 to $6. Crazy! And what's even better? The material and the craftsmanship are basically the same because they all come the same production line. See, this is why people come to China and looking for the OEM factory because they just can get the cheapest and best quality product from there and sell you, I don't know how much. Alright guys, if you want to know more about Lululemon or any other active...
My brain cells. Oh my god, I feel fried. I don't even know where to begin unpacking this part. This is wild to me. This is wild to me because I know exactly what she's talking about. Like, I know what she's talking about, but I definitely do believe she's twisting all of the truth. She is twisting the truth out to the point where it's just a wrung out towel now. The towel is wrung out. The truth is not in the soaked towel. Her saying it's basically the same thing tells me it's not the same thing, even if you remove the Lulu or the Chanel logo off of whatever you're buying. So I hate to break it to you guys, no, your Hermes bags are not made in China. No, your Lulu pants, well, yeah, no, those might be made in China, but not in the way that they're making it out to be. Yeah, they come from a Chinese factory, duh, but it's not coming from her factory. Think of the lawsuits, people. Let's put on our thinking caps for about 2 seconds. These brands don't play with profits. They're not playing with their profits. Why would they allow leaks to that degree? You know what I mean?
Can you ever forgive me?
Of course I can, Peter. Hi, Peter. Who's your little friend?
Not now, prison Lois.
So it's over? And what was Venice?
Same thing it always was, babe. A dream we both wanted to believe.
Peter, who was that?
So with all of this being said, I do want to talk about and touch on the topic of high-end replicas, one-to-ones, because those have been taking off. And I'm finding the timing of all of these, replica Chinese sellers. I'm really starting to wonder if it is just an actual public takedown to luxury. Has the one-to-one high-end replica market started to rival that of like the actual Chanel market? Is that insane to think? I don't know. At this point, I don't know. There's no concrete sales statistics to go by for the fake bags, the replicas. And I find it kind of funny that these TikToks are popping up and causing a lot of fear-mongering. There is a lot of people popping off about this. There's a lot of people just eating up the fear. And they did it. They completely succeeded. They caused fear, further fear within the high-end luxury market. Look at what's going on. We have the sweatshops that Christian Dior got called out for. We got horrible craftsmanship from Louis Vuitton. Donatella was just ousted from Versace. We got Demna from Balenciaga moving to Gucci. Things right now are not looking good. And this seems very calculated to me. Everything is going viral. Everything seems to be really blowing up. And it not blowing up in the good way. I see this actually causing severe damage down the line to high-end luxury if people do not get their facts straight. Do I care that much about high-end luxury? No, again, I really don't. I really don't. But I don't want to see my audience get sucked into this fear-mongering. Because think about it. If people thought for 2 seconds, 2 whole seconds, this is clearly coming from these Chinese resellers that are making a big buck on high-end one-to-one replicas. Because they're not coming from the same factories. They're not coming from the same factories. And yes, we already do know that there are loopholes within the luxury system that allow these designer brands. I'm not even talking about Hermes. I'm talking about Chanel, Louis Vuitton. They definitely outsource outside of Italy for sure, but it is not these factories and it is not these people. Stop believing everything you see on the internet because it's ridiculous. This is honestly laughable. I should be laughing, but now I'm frustrated because I know my audience might get sucked into this, and it makes me sick. The last thing I want for anybody is to go to these Chinese sellers thinking they are actually getting the real thing. Basically the real thing. No, stop. That's a lie. That's not basically the real thing from the exact same factory. That is not, that's a complete contradiction within itself. If you go to these high-end replicas, I don't blame you. Who wants to pay $15,000 for a Chanel classic flap? Not me. I don't even want the replica, you know what I mean? But I do know there is a massive market out there. There's a massive market for high-end one-to-one replicas.
Stop.
To completely close off this video, before we hop into the outfit and all of that, I did thrift a high-end one-to-one replica of a Gucci bag. It took me like a week with 8 hours of work to really determine whether or not if this was a replica or if this was authentic, because that is how good the one-to-one high-end reps have gotten. Now, I might not get rid of this just because it is really cool to see such a weird, it's like a unicorn. It's like seeing a dog stand up on its hind legs. You know what I mean? So, something I'm keeping in my collection. And, I don't know. Should we try it on? Should we try it on for the outfit of the day? I think so. So, before we hop into my outfit of the day, and the Kittylicious moment of the day, as well as the comment of the day, if you'd like to help me with that pesky YouTube, algorithm, make sure to hit that like button, share with your friends and family, subscribe if you are new, ring the bell to be notified of all my future uploads, and if you'd like to help me and the channel directly, you can always send me a very generous super thanks donation, or join the ever-growing group of Fabulites via my YouTube memberships. Link in the description box below. Comment of the day comes from my shocking truth about our handbag collection video, part 1, and it is from Connie Holmes. She says, "This has left a bad taste in my mouth. That Tory Birch bag. Disgraceful." I could not agree more. Absolutely repulsing. I love you all to the absolute moon and back, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
There could be 100 people in the room and 99 don't believe in you and just one does. I probably said this earlier, but 100 people can be in a room and 99 don't believe in you. 99 don't believe, but all it takes is one.
I think it was good.
I'm done. No, show's over. Show's over.
See you next Taco Tuesday, bitch.